Hello everyone, and welcome back to Rag Plays Crusader Kings II, Monks and Mystics, the Penitenziagite campaign. Last time we left off, we were in the middle of managing our realm before we even unpaused for the first time. It took a whole episode to even get to the point where we were thinking about unpausing, but that's just the way it goes early on, especially when I'm trying to teach you how to play the game. So, we're going to switch back to our vassal map mode here, direct vassals, so we can better see our realm. Ours is the white one here, as you'll recall. Last episode we took care of our unmarried ruler and we took care of our unmarried heirs. These alerts will disappear fairly soon, but the next one up is for us to pick an ambition. An ambition in the game, for all intents and purposes, it's a direction your character wants to go in. He's saying, I want to do this in my lifetime. So to choose an ambition, you click on your character portrait up here and you go to this little dream sort of thing, a little speech bubble. And you get a list of ambitions you can pick. We can become a paragon of virtue, and to become a paragon of virtue, we have to achieve at least 500 piety, and upon success we gain 1 learning, we gain 100 piety, we will be known as the Holy. +1 Catholic moral authority for 20 years, which is, it buffs our religion, basically, the entire religion, if we become this. But the Pope's opinion of us goes up through the roof, and our bishop goes up that we have under us. Not going to worry about that one, I think. It's going to be pretty hard at the beginning of the game to achieve 500 piety, so that might take a little too long. Become the King of Italy. Count Adone wants to become the King of Italy. If pagan, it allows him the unlimited use of the subjugation casus belli within the kingdom. If fabricate claims Counselor mission is available, it may acquire a claim on Italy with this ambition. There's a reduced cost for creating the kingdom if it does not yet exist. The ambition cannot be cancelled. This one is hard to achieve, for obvious reasons. To create the Kingdom of Italy, we would have to gain a majority of all of the realm, and I don't think that's within our scope of this Let's Play. We're too small, we're a count. We might work our way up to king or emperor eventually, but it's very unlikely that we'll become the King of Italy. So, and upon success we gain 500 prestige, which is not that great of a reward. Acquire a title. Count Adone wants to acquire more land and another title, increasing his influence and power in the realm. Success condition is to gain any title from the liege. Success effect, gain 200 prestige. Not bad. It would be nice for the Holy Roman Empire to toss us something our way for our good troubles. But it's kind of unlikely again. Become a counselor. Count Adone would like a seat on the council of his liege, so we would want to be in a position of power in the Holy Roman Empire to become one of the many positions you can take up. For diplomacy, it is the chancellor. For marshal, it is for marshal, it's marshal. For stewardship, it is the steward. For intrigue, it is the spy master, and for piety is the court chaplain. Those would be cool. Success is the opinion of the Kaiser goes up, or our opinion of him goes up. That kind of just doesn't do anything for us. It's not that important. Gain land for an unlanded son. You wish to secure some land for a son that is currently not set to inherit any. Acquire a county for your son. Success effect, none. Completely worthless. Build a war chest. Count Adone wants to build a war chest and prepare his realm for war. Has amassed a suitably large amount of money for this realm. 300 ducats if ruling a county, 500 if ruling a duchy, 700 if ruling a kingdom, or 1,000 if ruling an empire. Upon success, we get war taxes until the 1st of December 1071, giving the following effects: national tax modifier plus 10%, which is good. But I think the first one we're going to pick is acquire a title, because you never know. The Holy Roman Emperor might decide that we are worthy of gaining a new title, so we're going to pick that as our first one. It might happen. Next thing up. So now that we've done that, that alert has disappeared right away. We want to, as our next thing, pick a character focus, and the character focus is right here beside the ambition. This is the type of life we're going to lead. And at the beginning of the game, I know we said we were going to be playing a pious man, so one of these two would be the ones that we'd want to pick: theology focus or scholarship focus. However, it is more important at the beginning to make sure you have a decent amount of troops to both defend and possibly expand your territory. So I am going to pick between war or hunting of these. There are other ones, I'm not going to go into them right now, we may get to them eventually, but for now, the choices are between these two. We're allowed to duel if we pick the war focus, and we can challenge people to duels. That's not a very godly thing to do. It gives us the most martial, but I find hunting is the superior focus, because we can travel throughout the realm, making friends and killing off-gods creatures. So we can go on great hunts and all that jazz. And we get +2 martial and +1 health. And the health bonus is excellent, because that will allow us to live longer. We're already very old, and we want to stay alive as long as possible at the beginning. So I'm going to select the hunting focus. Next alert is special minor titles are available to grant to people. So we have a lot of them here. Not many people are on our council or anything like that at the start of the game, so we can pick a designated regent. Basically, if we become incapable or not able to rule the realm, we want someone who is good at ruling the realm in our stead, so that they can help us administer the realm if we're sick or injured or dying or something like that, until our son comes of age and whatnot. So, as a regent, we'd want someone with the best stats. I'm going to make my son the designated regent, just so he begins to gain some prestige over time. The court physician, this is the man who is going to be our doctor. We have one person who is qualified for the job. This is the only man. I think it is because he has his learning above 15. I don't remember the criteria, but there's a few different criteria for being the doctor, and we're going to make him the doctor since he's the only person that we have as an option. Master of the Horse, Master of the Hunt, High Alamoner, and Cupbearer. These are things that give prestige to characters. They also give some other like minor benefits. Your salary goes up, your monthly prestige goes up, and your opinion goes up. So you want to give these to people you deem important in the realm. You can only give these once, and then you have to wait for them to die or revoke them. And you don't want to revoke them because they'll have a negative opinion of you if you do that. And some are higher than others. The Cupbearer has 0.05 ducats, so he gets a whole nickel extra a month, plus 0.6 extra prestige. Opinion is +5. The Alamoner is slightly worse. The Master of the Hunt is slightly worse. And the Master of the Horse is slightly worse. The best one is Cupbearer, so we want to give Cupbearer probably to our son, I would think. I'm going to make sure that we're clicked on Cupbearer. We'll give that to our son so he gains more prestige than anyone else. I'm going to give the High Alamoner to my other son, so he will gain money. Complete nepotism here, but we want the money to stay within our realm, and we want our own wealth to grow above anyone else's. So, for the other options, we could give one to our nephew, but I think it's more important to please the mayor of Astvey, which is the city that is under Monferrat, the county of Monferrat. So we are in control of this man. He is one of our vassals, and this is the other person who is our vassal, the Bishop of Casale. He is the bishopric under us in Montferrat. So we will give the Master of the Hunt to... give the Master of the Horse to the Bishop, and we'll give Master of the Hunt to the Mayor. Alright, so that takes care of our minor titles. We have 2 children that lack an education focus, and this is important because we want them to turn out right. And this one is already well on the way to becoming an amazing character. We might even make him our guy if we choose to. We're going to switch him to a martial education focus. To do that, obviously, you click on the alert at the top of the screen. It tells you what characters need to be educated. Then you click on this, the same thing for the focus, except he's a child. So go back to the first one, first child, and we will select him as a martial focus and then hit select. So he might turn out well if we're careful, and he's our kinsman, but I still think we're going to want to transfer educating him to ourselves. So, but first we'll take care of the other child who is also in need of an education focus. The other child would be very good at either... He is timid, but he is conscientious, so... I still think it would be important to... I'm gonna actually start steering him towards a learning education, because that is the only one that benefits him that doesn't have a detriment. You see, the ones in red, that are outlined in red, are detrimental to pick, so his traits here influence how well he's going to adopt becoming these things. So the best one for us is the one that's purely green and no detriments. We can pick these two, but they give us no bonuses. This gives us a bonus in learning, so he will become a very holy man. We may end up playing him one day. Unmarried heir will go away as soon as the thing accepts, and the ruler unmarried, same deal. Alright, so now that that's all done, those two kids that we just lost track of, we have another child that doesn't have an education focus here. We're going to switch him to struggle right now. And we are going to arrange him a new guardian, and his guardian is going to be us. We want him to be under our control if we can. He needs to be at least 6 years, so he's not old enough yet, but we need to switch these kids to be on the right focus at the start of their lives, that's for certain. And in fact, we're going to look at our realm, at our dynasty tree, in fact, and just make sure that all of our kids are being educated the right way at the beginning of the map, at the beginning of the game. Burgundo has a woman who has a child, but she is a bastard, so she does not matter. Is this entire family tree dead? I'm not sure, but these two kids need to be educated, so let me educate these kids on my own. I'm going to be their educator. And you have what? You are... And I'm going to educate this one as well. Assigned guardian. You can educate 2 children at the same time as 1 character. No more than 2, though, so... And back to the family tree. Not the family tree, I'm sorry. The dynasty tree. We have a bishop who is within our dynasty as well. I think everybody else on this end is dead. Apparently we have more. We have more kinsmen. One of them is the Count of Saluzzo, ironically. And another one is my kinsman, but he's probably under Saluzzo. Yes, he is. We won't be able to get him educated, and he won't be in our realm anyway, so for all intents and purposes, that's done. Alright, so let us go ahead and unpause the game. I think we're ready. Everything seems to be in order. We switched focuses. That should update our martial score in just a minute. It'll go from 12 to 14. Let's unpause and switch to speed 3. To the humble Count Odone, blessings upon your house. I accept your suggestion that Burgundo and Emma get married. Excellent. Okay, I almost forgot. We need to assign our council jobs. And our council up here is very important. We want to switch over from minor titles to positions to see the positions of our council. Our chancellor is god-awful. What stats does he have? He pretty much sucks at everything he does. Is there anyone better than him? You would make a decent steward. And you already are the steward, but I don't know... And what about you? You are Spy Master, you're probably going to stay as Spy Master. And you are probably the best guy that we have. You're the bishop, right? No, you're somebody else. We have some family members that aren't yet on the council, and you are garbage still. So this is going to take a few minutes for me to consider what to do. Our marshal is absolutely terrible. He needs to be replaced by somebody who's decent at fighting. So, sorry, man. I know you're the bishop of Casale, and you are a powerful vassal technically, though you're pretty awfully weak. I'm going to switch to someone who is better suited for the job. Guglielmo, I'm not even going to begin to try and pronounce that name, the commander of Monferrat. He is going to be our new marshal. And he is going to train us some troops in Monferrat so that we begin to gain our levies back. And to gain more men, basically. Is there anyone who is better at governance here? Yes, we have a 12 diplomacy guy who would make a much better chancellor, and he is also our son, so nepotism being what it is. We are going to send him to fabricate claims, and we are going to choose Saluzzo as our target, because this is going to be our avenue of expansion. This is the way we're going to be wanting to move in. We're going to... Before you decide who you want to attack, potentially, or where you want to expand to, you have to take a look at the people surrounding you and assess how strong are they? What are their weaknesses? What are their benefits? This kid, his stats are terrible because he's a child, first of all. He's only 11 years old. He's being educated. His regent is 17 in diplomacy, only 1 in martial. That means that Saluzzo is going to have a terrible number of troops behind it. If we look at the number of troops in this realm, and to do that you need to go to Realm Tree. Actually, you don't need to do that anymore. I'm sorry, it's listed right here, Army Levies. He only has 757 men to his name. Now, if you look at us, we go to our military tab, we have 1,037 right now out of a potential 1,287, plus another 83 from our vassals. So we've got almost 400 more men than he does. No, we have like 600 more men than he does, since he has only 757. We can take him, in other words. If we look at Piedmont up here, which is another avenue I want to be expanding in eventually, this guy is much more formidable. He has 1.7k troops, 1,700 troops. So that's beyond us at the moment. We need to expand a bit more before we can think about that. Then, of course, there's Genoa, but since he's a merchant republic, he's got even more men because he's super rich. So, we've decided that we want to fabricate claims on him so that we have a reason to go to war. In CK2 you need a reason to go to war with everyone. And the way you get reasons is by faking a claim, basically, on the territory that you want to go after. So since we're going after Saluzzo, I sent my chancellor to fake a claim on Saluzzo, and that means he's going to look through various books and things and fabricate some bullshit story that, you know, because our uncle's second aunt, third cousin once removed, was related to the Count of Saluzzo. That means we should be in charge of this land because we are related and we have fair and just claim over it in some bullshit extrapolation that who knows why. But that's what he is doing. As I said, training troops will increase our levy size by 27.5% and our levy reinforcement rate at 55%. So anytime our men die, they'll come back 55% faster. And we'll get more men on top of that because he's training troops. Our steward, we have to set him to do something, and we've made sure he's the best for the job, yes. We want to send him to probably... We're going to keep him doing what he's doing, I think. We could send him to collect taxes, which gives us a local tax modifier of 30%. You know what? That might be better at the beginning of the game, in fact. I'm going to send him to collect taxes in Monferrat, so we get plus 30% more income per month, and that should increase our income by a little bit anyway. We also have the potential to get a special tithe collected, which is just a flat sum of money that we get for free if it happens to get the dice roll that tells us we get that, and there's also a possibility that the peasants will attack him and possibly kill him if they get pissed off. People don't like tax collectors in the game for obvious reasons. The Spy Master, he is currently scheming in Monferrat. He has the 12% possibility of discovering a plot against us or something of that nature. To start with, I want to study technology, but around us there is nobody who has anything to study. So we're going to keep doing scheming. We're going to keep scheming in Montferrat to possibly uncover plots against us and whatnot. Our court chaplain right now, he has nothing to do other than research cultural tech. We could improve religious relations with the Pope down here, but I tend to find that not really worth bothering with. We're going to increase our piety over time here. We're going to have him hunt apostates, and he has the chance of tracking down blaspheming and heretical societies to drag their members into the light, and we also get monthly piety, and we have a 68.48% chance yearly to find an apostate, and maybe we can do things to him, since we are a God-fearing man and we hate heresy. So, that is our council taken care of. The next thing we need to do, since we lost someone as a commander, we need to appoint a new commander. We're going to make our kinsman a commander. And that is fine. We have an unmarried heir that's going to be fixed soon. Let's go ahead and continue to unpause the game. The magnificent Count Adone, blessings upon your house. I accept the suggestion for these two people to get married. Good. And the same deal. And we have our wife finally, so that will have disappeared, and another family member getting married, and yet again another one is married, and the last one is married, and that one is married. Okay. We can collect a royal aid to pay for the ceremonies. Since these two are getting married, she's entitled or obligated to pay us a tithe, because our son is noble and she is not. We can collect, we can say it's everyone's concern and collect 12.30 gold at the beginning of the game, or we can collect 13 prestige. People respect wealth. If we have wealth, we don't need money. I want the gold at the beginning because gold is more valuable than prestige in the beginning of the game, in my opinion. At least for this start. So, let's go ahead and unpause and just watch and wait for things to happen. What can I show you guys? Oh yeah, one of the new features in Monks and Mystics that I'm super excited about are societies here, this tab up at the top. And basically, we have the option of joining lots of societies. It says there's a button here that says list all of them. So there are two Christian ones. The Benedictine Order. The Benedictine Order is an old monastic community with ora et labora, meaning pray and labor, as their motto. Often recognized by their black habits, they worship God and find purpose in prayer and quiet contemplation as well as scholarly work. They are the scholarly monks, the ones that are self-sufficient, the ones that work, that believe that they should work and be cloistered and maintain knowledge and all of this sort of thing, preserve knowledge. They are the black monks, basically. Next, you have the Dominican Order. The Dominican Order are able to listen to the confessions of any Christian. Dressed in white and black, they lead the Holy Inquisition, charged with a mission to identify heretics. As a lay member of their order, you are expected not to pursue material wealth, but to strive to be a seeker of truth. The Dominicans are an active order, and that means that they go out into the world and they service. They go out into the world, but they are not of the world. They believe that they're less regimented than the Benedictines. They don't follow as strict as schedules, and they work with the public, basically, to have some sort of benefit. Of course, we have the Hermetic societies here. These are basically the alchemist faction. Hermetics believe that there are deeply hidden secrets about this world that only the worthy can uncover, and as a member of the Hermetics, you will seek truth in the stars and planets through diligent experimentation by careful interpretation of ancient texts and symbols. They're the proto-scientists and the bringers of the Renaissance, and were I playing as a Merchant Republic, I might consider dedicating myself to them, but since we're a man of God, we are not into alchemy and all this witchcraft that we would term it as. And of course you have the devil worshippers, Lucifer's own. Those who serve the great adversary hide in our midst, dedicating their depravities and perfidies to their lord Satan. Every transgression is a hymn, every murder a roar of defiance against the word of God. Lucifer rewards such dark sacraments handsomely. Witches are said to be gifted with unnatural lifespans, and all manner of demonic powers. Ooh, evil. We don't know who's the head, and we have no rank, but we could show interest in Lucifer's society. Yes. No. No, it's horrible. We're a man of God, with our one learning. We can't do that. It's evil. Time to change our appearance. I don't like having a beard, so I'm going to get rid of it. So, it seems reasonable. We're currently 60 years old. We just became 60. And as I said, we should take a look at our actual realm and see what it looks like here. We have the county capital, the barony of Moncalvo. Base tax 10.4, tax is 23.91, fort level is 5. This is where most of our men come from. Our levy's full right now. You can see our technology right here, 12 into military advancements, 18 into administrative economy advances, I should say, and 18 into cultural advances. We are de jure part of the Kingdom of Italy, which does not exist yet. If we check the de jure realms, this is the extent of Italy, as it would be, but it's very unlikely that we'll ever get all this land to ever form Italy, so let's not worry about that. Our de jure duchy, so the duchy that the county belongs in, the County of Monferrat, belongs to the Duchy of Susa, which consists of Saluzzo, Piemonte, and Monferrato. So, like I said, our goal, one of our beginning goals anyway, is going to be to form this duchy as quick as possible, because the duchy means we have more troops, more benefits, more taxes. It's all good for us. So we want to get a hold of a majority in this so that we can form the duchy. So to get a majority, since there are 3 provinces, we need 2 of them. So Saluzzo is what we're going after, and then we can worry about Piedmont after that, once we have more men from Saluzzo from getting his levy. That is the end of this episode, guys. I think I will just take another brief couple of seconds to explain the rest of it to you. Our culture is Italian, so if we switch to the cultural map mode, we can see where everything is in the world. We got German up here in Germany, French and Occitan, both types of French. We got Norman, Breton, all Italian over here, Lombard in Aquileia, Croatian, and so forth. We've got the Spanish, the Castilians as they're called, the Catalans, the Basque, the Portuguese, all of that. Greeks, Polish, Bohemian, Pomeranian, Danish, Swedish, Norwegian, Anglo-Saxon, English. England is still not English, it is still Anglo-Saxon. We have the Welsh, the Irish, the Scottish, the Finnish, Estonians, Lithuanians, Prussians, Latgalians, Russians. Those are pretty much the extent of what we need to learn about. The Armenians, the Levantines, the Egyptians, the Berbers, and the Andalusians, Bretons, Dutch, and so forth. When you're dealing with culture, the cultures come in culture groups, so the culture groups tend to be more friendly towards each other. So Germans will get along better with Dutch than they will get along with French. The French will get along better with Occitans than they will the Italians. The Italians will get along better with the Lombards than they will with the Croatians. The Croatians will get along better with the Serbians than they will with the Hungarians. The Polish and the Bohemians will get along better than they would with Germans, and so forth. So it's good to match culture groups and cultures whenever you can. So if you can find an Italian wife, it's better than finding a Lombard wife, and so forth. But it's not super important. Our religion is Catholic. If we switch over to the religious map mode, which is right beside the cultural map mode here, we can see the extent of our faith. All of England, all of Scotland are Catholic. A lot of Scandinavia is still Germanic pagan, because it's still fairly early, and they're going to be working to convert all that to Christian. Sumenusko over here is the religion of Finland. You have Orthodox Christianity in the Byzantine Empire, which is Greece, what would be Anatolia, Turkey, and Armenia and Georgia. And you have Tengri, which is the steppe religion, so all of the Mongols and Turkic peoples worship that. And of course you have the Muslims, Sunnis, which own half of Spain right now and are encroaching further and further into Christendom. We might have to address that at some point. We might have to do something about that. We have the Shia, Miaphysites, which are Christians in Africa, and Sunni Zoroastrians are a religion, the ancient religion of Persia, which is being eradicated by the Muslims. And of course you have the Hindus and the Buddhists and the Jains over in India, as well as various different areas like that. You still have Romieva up here, which is the religion of Lithuania. A bit of Slavic in the north of Germany still. And that's pretty much it. We've got some various other little religions. Miaphysite over here, that's kind of a heresy of Orthodox, as I recall. I don't recall exactly what that's about, but bits of stuff here and there. Sicily is owned by the Muslims right now. We might have to take that back, and so forth. We have a supply limit of 19.9k troops in Montferrat right now, so we can, our army, any armies that march through here will not suffer attrition unless they're above 19.9k men. So more than 19,000 men marching through here will suffer attrition. Revolt risk is 0. And that's pretty much it. I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time for more Rag Plays, Crusader Kings II, Monks and Mystics, the Penitenziagite campaign, where hopefully we'll get to some more gameplay and stuff will happen. See you next time.